Hello, NBA fans. Every day we have news about the Los Angeles Lakers. I'm a Lakers fan and I ask for your help by subscribing to the channel and giving me your thumbs up. A question is stirring up Lakers fans and NBA analysts: is it worth sending several players to the Dallas Mavericks and bringing Anthony Davis back? In my opinion, yes. Even though Davis is prone to injuries, the Lakers can reduce his minutes and keep him physically healthy for the post-playoffs and the finals, because they have center DeAndre Ayton, who is playing well and will be a valuable reserve if Davis is signed. Of the 5 players the Lakers could send to the Dallas Mavericks, only Rui Hachimura has stood out this season because the other 4 players, Gabe Vincent, Maxi Kleber, Jared Vanderbilt, and Dalton Knecht, have been inconsistent, and none of these 4 players have secured a solid spot in the rotation. Therefore, bringing Davis back will be worth the risk so that the Lakers become favorites for the championship. Anthony Davis has been selected 5 times for the NBA's all-defensive first team. With the Los Angeles Lakers being a large market franchise known for attracting high-profile talent, it's safe to say they'll always be a hot commodity on the trade market. Do the Lakers need to make a move before the February 5th trade deadline to have any chance of reaching the NBA Finals? While Los Angeles is in far better shape than they was last November, it would be wise to add another frontcourt contributor to balance out their roster. In a proposed 3-team blockbuster trade idea, the Lakers would send a 6'2" point guard to the Dallas Mavericks for a 6'10" superstar forward. Los Angeles is one of the few teams with flexibility, expiring contracts, and a clear identity centered around an MVP-caliber Luka Doncic, Hoops Habits Rafael Fabianowicz wrote Saturday. The organization also has a strong understanding of Anthony Davis's value, what he looks like at his peak, and how to build a roster that maximizes his presence. The Lakers have long been the environment where Davis has thrived. The team protected him physically, allowed him to share responsibilities with other bigs, and created a structure that supported longer stretches of health. With Dallas under pressure and Davis's value dropping, Los Angeles can craft a package using its expiring contracts and a future first-round pick. Fabianowicz's full trade proposal sends Davis to the Lakers, Gabe Vincent, Maxi Kleber, Rui Hachimura, Jared Vanderbilt, a 2031 first-round pick, and 3 swaps to the Mavericks, and Dalton Knecht and a 2032 second-round pick, via the Lakers. While not impossible, landing Davis doesn't appear to be a viable option for the Lakers. If the Lakers were fed up with Davis's injury-prone ways last season, prompting them to trade him to the Mavericks for Doncic, why would they change their tune this year? At the same time, there aren't many frontcourt assets on the trade market as skilled as Davis, which could tempt the Lakers to make another shocking trade with the Mavericks. If the Lakers execute Fabianowicz's trade idea, the franchise would finally get to wash its hands of Vincent after a lackluster tenure in Los Angeles. The former Miami Heat guard hasn't done much of anything to make the Lakers feel vindicated about their decision to sign him in 2023. Vincent, once a competent offensive player, is averaging 3.7 points and 1.6 assists per game this season. Fabianowicz's trade concept is interesting, to say the least. Stunning stat validates Luka Doncic's MVP case after 1 month. Sometimes one stat tells you everything you need to know. For the Los Angeles Lakers, that stat is absolutely stunning. With Luka Doncic on the floor, they are plus 84. When he sits, they are minus 27. What that says about Luka Doncic's value. You do not often see swings like that unless a player is completely changing the direction of a team, and through the first month of this season, Doncic has been doing precisely that. The Lakers' success backs it up. The team has won 6 straight games and just ran through the NBA Cup group stage, going a perfect 4-0. Their most recent 129-119 win over the Dallas Mavericks was another reminder of how steady Doncic has become for this group. He put up 35 points and 11 assists against his former team, now 3-0 in those matchups since joining the Purple and Gold. If it was not clear before, it should be crystal clear on which side won that blockbuster deal in the middle of last season. Doncic's overall numbers are hard to ignore. Currently, he is averaging 35.1 points, 9.4 assists, and 8.5 rebounds, all while shooting 47.5% from the field and over 80% at the free throw line. Even on defense, where critics often circle back, he has been making an impact with 1.8 steals per game. Nothing about his production feels forced. It just feels natural and in full command. ESPN's Zach Lowe summed up this version of Doncic perfectly on The Zach Lowe Show. He said Luka looks fit, defending better, and just a machine of offense, and added that when he is out there, the Lakers get whatever shot they want. That statement by Lowe matches what anyone watching the Lakers can see. The team's confidence and sense of direction change the second he checks into the game. And that is really why the on-off numbers feel so important. With Doncic running the show, the Lakers play with purpose. The ball moves on time. Teammates find space. The offense appears organized rather than reactive. When he goes to the bench, that smooth flow shifts, even for only a few minutes. What makes this even more interesting is that Doncic still has room to grow. He is just hitting 34% from three, one of the lowest marks of his career, while taking a career-high 10.9 attempts per game. You would expect that to bump up as the season settles, especially now that LeBron James is back and healthy. King James is elite at taking the defensive pressure. And with LeBron comfortable letting Doncic and Austin Reeves carry more of the offensive load, the team is tough to stop. If this is where Doncic is after just 1 month, his MVP case is just starting to build. The Lakers feel his impact every time he takes the floor, and the numbers are starting to capture what the eye test already shows. Los Angeles Lakers signed forward Drew Timm to two-way contract. The Los Angeles Lakers have signed forward Drew Timm to a two-way contract. In a corresponding move, the team has waived two-way center Christian Coloco. Timm, 6 feet 10 inches, 235, most recently suited up for the South Bay Lakers, appearing in 6 tip-off tournament games, all starts, and averaging a team-high 25.5 points, 7.5 rebounds, 4.0 assists and 1.2 steals in 25.5 minutes. He scored in double figures in all 6 outings, including 4 games with 20-plus points. Timm was named NBA G League Player of the Week for games played Friday, November 7th through Sunday, November 16th, after leading South Bay to a 3-0 start to the season while averaging 30.0 points, 7.0 rebounds, and 4.7 assists in 34.6 minutes. Across 3 NBA G League seasons with South Bay, 2025-26, Long Island, 2024-25, Stockton, 2024-25, and Wisconsin, 2023-24, Timm has appeared in 76 career regular season and tip-off tournament games, all starts, averaging 16.8 points, 7.8 rebounds, and 3.0 assists in 27.5 minutes. The 25-year-old has also appeared in 9 NBA regular season games, 2 starts, with the Brooklyn Nets, 2024-25, averaging 12.1 points, 7.2 rebounds, and 2.2 assists in 28.2 minutes. Collegiately, Timm played 4 seasons at Gonzaga University, 2019-23, appearing in 134 games, 105 starts, and averaging 17.2 points, 6.7 rebounds, and 2.4 assists in 27.2 minutes. Gonzaga's all-time leading scorer, Timm earned a first-team All-American and WCC Player of the Year as a senior. Timm will wear jersey number 17 for the purple and gold. Coloco was originally signed to a two-way contract by the Lakers September 16, 2024. He appeared in 37 regular season games in 2024-25, averaging 2.4 points and 2.5 rebounds in 9.2 minutes. Lakers' much-needed hunt for crucial upgrade can start in a few weeks. December 15 is when the trade calls will start to pick up for Rob Pelinka and the Los Angeles Lakers. The talk of the town late into the offseason for the Los Angeles Lakers was all about how they wanted to pursue a two-way swingman to raise the ceiling of the team for this season. They are only weeks away from properly getting their opportunity to pursue that upgrade. December 15 marks the date when many of the off-season signings from this past free agency period will have their trade restrictions lifted. As a result, instead of teams having access to specific salaries and players to use in negotiations, the vast majority of the roster will be available. Naturally, that is going to make trade talks a whole lot easier as teams gear up their plans ahead of the NBA trade deadline on February 5. For the Lakers, it feels like a given they will be involved in the antics that occur before that date to some capacity. Rob Pelinka will still need a better sample size for how Los Angeles performs with LeBron James back in the mix. However, a hot start and a group hungry to knock at the door of championship contention will almost certainly seek every advantage they can get before the 2026 NBA playoffs. Two-way wing continues to stand out as a pressing need for the Lakers. J.J. Redick rolled out LeBron with Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, DeAndre Ayton, and Rui Hachimura as the starters for the first game back in the lineup involving the aging superstar. That group continues to lack a defensive centerpiece to build the game plan around on that end. Some will continue to vouch for Marcus Smart being elevated to that group to help solve that problem. The injury history of the former Defensive Player of the Year may just weigh too heavily on the mind of the Lakers to pull the trigger on that move. If that continues to be the case, the Lakers will have to put out their feelers on who may be available externally to come in and help the team. There are just a few important caveats to consider. A player like Hachimura may have stood out as a potential trade asset, given his expiring contract, before the season started. His shooting and smooth fit with Doncic has quickly made keeping him a necessity for the Lakers. Leaning on the other expiring contracts, Dalton Connect, and the draft capital that is available should be route taken to secure an upgrade. It will not be an easy ask for Pelinka to turn that into a legitimate starting caliber wing. However, it is the reality that awaits the Lakers president. LeBron James enjoying watching growth of Bronny James. Los Angeles, California, November 25. Lakers forward LeBron James, number 23, right, welcomes his son Lakers guard Bronny James, number 9, on the court to play in the final minutes of the game against the Clippers at Crypto.com Arena in Los Angeles Tuesday, November 25, 2025. Alan J. Chauvin / Los Angeles Times via Getty Images. Bronny James is in his second NBA season, seeing an increase in opportunity and confidence after being taken by the Los Angeles Lakers in the second round of the 2024 NBA Draft. Last year was mostly about Bronny making history by playing next to his father, LeBron James, in NBA action while developing in the G League. But the strides he took in year one were greater than many expected of him, and he has made a genuine impact on the team in his second year. This has been especially true in the early part of the season while LA was short-handed at guard. With LeBron, Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, Marcus Smart and Gabe Vincent all missing games, Bronny has played in 11 of the Lakers' first 17 contests. And perhaps no one has enjoyed watching Bronny develop and get these opportunities more than LeBron. The 23-year superstar has loved watching Bronny develop beyond just being a proud father, via the Mind the Game podcast with Steve Nash. It's been great. You know, not only as a father but just as a student of the game. To see someone use what he was able to do last year in the G League, use that to get more comfortable, then go into Summer League and be even more comfortable. And when his time has been called this year, just continue to feel good about it. I think in those games where Luka was out or AR was out or Marcus was out, I think we had back-to-back games at home. I forgot who we played at home, but then we were in Portland. I was super proud of him, and of the maturation process to not only play well at home, but then to have a back-to-back in a tough environment in Portland and do it again. That's what the NBA is all about. It's certainly incredible for LeBron to watch his son start to find his rhythm at the NBA level. In the meantime, though, he's had to balance being Bronny's teammate and leader with being his dad. He spoke about that balance and what he wants to see from his son. When we're in practice and in games and things of that nature, it's the leadership. I'm one of the guys and one of the leaders of the team. But we have our side time where I can, tell him about what I've seen or whatever. But I just want him to walk his own journey, and I can give him the blueprint and I can give him some of the things that I've seen, but I want him to walk through the fire as well. For both players, balancing their personal and work relationship is surely tricky. But both are also impacting the Lakers in positive ways, both on and off the court. And that's a major part of why the Lakers opted to draft Bronny in 2024, knowing that he can be a positive figure regardless of where he is within the organization. LeBron James liking what new additions are bringing. Many people weren't sure what to expect from the Lakers this season, but so far they have been one of the best teams in the NBA. And that's despite LeBron James missing the first 14 games and several other key players dealing with injuries as well. A big reason for that has been the play of Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves, who have been the best backcourt in the NBA so far. Another reason though has been the Lakers' depth, as they have been able to manage regardless of who is in and out of the lineup. The team improved that depth this past offseason when they signed DeAndre Ayton, Smart and Jake LaRavia. Lakers get bad news on All-Star potential trade target. Sporting a 14-4 record and occupying the Western Conference's number 2 seed, the Los Angeles Lakers are off to probably the best 2025-26 season start by record they could reasonably expect. But LA has two clear roster weaknesses that could impede a deep playoff run. Defending downhill point guards. Former Defensive Player of the Year Marcus Smart does his best, but at 31 he's past his athletic prime, and covering big wings. While offloading 21-time All-NBA power forward LeBron James for a package headlined by a defensive perimeter stalwart like, say, OG Anunoby could be worth pursuing in theory, James' no-trade clause in his expiring $52.6 million contract would prevent such a move. So the Lakers may need to look elsewhere on their roster for a more marginal change to shore up their defense. Los Angeles has long been rumored to be interested in acquiring Miami Heat swingman Andrew Wiggins, who has the size and speed to effectively defending shooting guards through mobile power forwards. The 30-year-old Kansas product is currently earning a relatively reasonable, albeit slightly generous, $28.2 million deal this season, and has a $30.2 million player option for next year. The 6'6" former Warriors All-Star and champ could draw significant interest on the trade market. Wiggins' solid season start in South Beach. Through 16 games for the 13-6 Miami Heat, Wiggins has been averaging 16.4 points on .475/.350/.650 shooting splits, 4.8 rebounds, 2.8 assists, 1.1 steals and 1.0 blocks a night. Per Clutch Points Brett Siegel, the Heat would want something a bit more appetizing than just more expiring money back in a deal for Wiggins. Miami has continued to signal that it won't be dumping Wiggins for expiring contracts, as it would want real value in the form of a future first-round pick and a player or two who could immediately contribute to its playoff pursuit, Siegel writes. Starting combo forward Rui Hachimura may boast the best present-day, on-court value among the Lakers' movable assets. His $18.3 million deal would need to be combined with another contract, something like reserve point guard Gabe Vincent's expiring $11.5 million salary or center/power forward Maxi Kleber's expiring $11 million deal. Smart, who has lapped Vincent in head coach J.J. Redick's rotation, has a $5.4 million player option for 2026-27. The Lakers have just one tradable future first-round pick this season, in 2031 or 32, but they'll have 3 by the 2026 NBA draft. Would ditching a protected first, Hachimura and either Vincent or Kleber be enough for Miami? That may hinge on how valuable Miami thinks the pick will become.